Have you ever been burned by someone you trusted and felt that fire inside you? The kind of fire that says, I'll show them, I'll prove my worth, I'll make them regret ever crossing me. That's the instinct, that's the human reaction, but it's not the path of power, because the most dangerous man is not the one who reacts, it's the one who doesn't flinch, the one who walks away, not in weakness, but in wisdom, and builds a life so peaceful, so powerful, so focused, that no attack can reach him. This video is about that man, the man who understands the best revenge isn't proving a point, it's protecting your peace. The best clapback is silence. The most powerful response is no response, and a life that keeps rising. We're about to explore what real peace looks like in the face of betrayal. We'll break down life's emotional battles not with noise but with wisdom. You'll hear truths forged in ancient history, modern reality, and the Word of God, because real peace is not weakness, it's strength, strategy, and self-mastery. And it's for men who refuse to let chaos define their story. So if you've been betrayed, hurt, manipulated, and if you're done letting toxic people rent space in your mind, this video is your turning point. Like this video, share it with a man who needs to hear this message, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below, because your voice matters here. Chapter 1. When they come for your mind, guard your peace. Like a fortress. The first attack toxic people launch isn't on your body, while it's on your mind. They don't want your fists, they want your focus. And the second you let them pull you into their drama, you've already given them the win. Revenge, to most men, feels like power. But there's a deeper truth. Reactive revenge is just emotional slavery dressed like strength. They say something slick and you clap back. They lie on your name and you scramble to defend it. They twist your truth and you try to untangle the mess just to be heard. But the moment you engage like that, you're no longer protecting your peace. You're fighting to stay visible in a room you should have walked out of long ago. Let's get this straight. You don't need to attend every battle you're invited to. Epictetus, another wise Stoic, once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." He understood something powerful. You are never at the mercy of what someone does to you. You are only at the mercy of how you respond. Your greatest power is not your reaction. It's your refusal to be disturbed. And that's where toxic people lose control over you. When they realize your peace can't be accessed through their noise. They crave a reaction. They feed off confusion. They thrive when you're unsure of yourself. But when you become a man who chooses stillness over shouting and silence over chaos, you become untouchable. Think about Jesus before the cross. He was falsely accused, mocked, spit on, the crowd shouted, the religious leaders lied. Yet the Bible says he opened not his mouth. Isaiah 53:7. Why? Because peace wasn't just something he taught. It was who he was. He had nothing to prove to those who were too blind to see truth. And neither do you. The loudest person is not the strongest. The one who walks away with dignity. That's the real warrior. Here's the practical truth. Every time you engage in petty arguments, you delay your purpose. Every time you explain yourself to someone who's already decided to misunderstand you, you drain your power. And every time you let offense take root in your heart, you hand your peace to people who never deserved it. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't owe anyone a war to validate your value. You owe yourself peace. Yeah, you owe your purpose, discipline. You owe your future focus. So from this moment on, treat your peace like a fortress. Not everyone gets in. Not every issue gets your attention. If it doesn't serve your mission, it doesn't deserve your mind. Because the best revenge is not proving them wrong. It's building a life they'll never have access to again. Drop a comment below. I guard my peace like a fortress. Chapter 2. Self-control is the sharpest weapon you'll ever carry. It's easy to lose your cool, to match energy, to snap back when someone crosses the line. But real men don't just have emotions, they have mastery. In a world that rewards loud reactions, self-control is a silent revolution. And the most powerful men are not the ones who explode, they're the ones who stay grounded when everything around them is shaking. Let me say this clearly. If they can control your response, they control your power. And if they can take you out of character, they already won. That's why peace isn't soft. Peace is discipline. Peace is restraint. Peace is choosing purpose over provocation. Let's go back to the story of David in 1 Samuel 24. David had every reason to seek revenge. King Saul, jealous, angry, toxic, was hunting him like a criminal. David had the chance to kill him in a cave. He could have ended it all, but he didn't. Instead, he cut a piece of Saul's robe and let him walk. Why? Because David understood something most men never do. Just because you can win the moment doesn't mean you should lose your soul. He chose peace. Not because Saul deserved it, but because David's destiny did. That's the key. You don't walk away from toxic people because they're right. You walk away because your purpose is too big to waste time proving anything to them. Every time you let a bitter person bait you into an argument, you trade progress for pride. Every time you go back and forth with someone who's already decided they don't value you, you step off the path of greatness to wrestle with shadows. That's not power, that's noise. And you weren't made to live in noise. You were made to lead. You were made to build. You were made to rise. Seneca, another powerful Stoic, once said, "A great mind becomes a fortress. It yields to nothing." Self-control builds that fortress. It teaches you that not every fight is yours. It reminds you that time spent arguing with fools is time stolen from your legacy. Look around. Most men are emotionally bankrupt because they've spent years reacting to people who were never meant to sit at their table. But the few, the focused few, choose differently. They don't let insults distract them. They don't let petty offenses define them. They carry peace like a crown and walk with the confidence of kings who no longer need to prove their royalty. And it's not about being passive. It's about choosing power over chaos. It's about knowing that peace isn't the absence of conflict. It's the ability to rise above it with clarity, control, and class. So the next time a toxic person tries to pull you into their storm, remember this. Don't fight in the dirt when you were made to build in the sky. Let your actions speak. Let your results echo. Let your peace confuse them. Because when you master self-control, you become the storm they never saw coming. Drop a comment below. I choose peace over pride. Chapter 3. The power of walking away without looking back. There's a strength most men underestimate. It's not in how loudly you respond, how long you argue, or how many points you prove. It's in how quietly and confidently you walk away and never turn around. See, walking away isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's not about giving up. It's about choosing to no longer give in. Let's revisit the life of Nelson Mandela, a man who spent 27 years in prison for standing against oppression. He was surrounded by hate, injustice, and cruelty. But when he was finally released, he didn't come out swinging with revenge. He didn't waste his peace chasing payback. Instead, he said this: "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." He forgave, he built, and he led his nation with dignity, vision, and peace. Why? Because Mandela knew what many men still don't. Toxic people don't deserve your peace, and they definitely don't deserve your future. You don't owe them a reaction. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them a front row seat to your healing. Some bridges must burn so your future stays lit. Here's the trap many fall into. They keep revisiting broken relationships hoping they'll heal. They keep explaining themselves to people, committed to misunderstanding them. They keep fighting battles that were never theirs to win. And in doing so, they lose themselves. They lose time, focus, and the fire that once made them unstoppable. You don't need revenge, you need distance. You need boundaries so firm that toxic people can't even reach you with their words. You need clarity so sharp that emotional manipulation becomes impossible. And here's the truth most won't say out loud. Some people aren't toxic because they're evil. They're toxic because they're unhealed. And they're addicted to chaos, but their healing is not your responsibility. Their growth is not your assignment. You can love people and still leave. Jesus did it too. In Matthew 10, he told his disciples, "If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet." Why? Because even the Prince of Peace knew there's no point staying where you're not received, respected, or restored. Peace isn't passive. Peace is a decision. Peace is choosing to protect your mission, even if that means protecting it from people you once loved. So this is your moment. If someone keeps pulling you into a cycle of confusion, if they only reach out to stir up your emotions, if they constantly challenge your worth, your values, your purpose, it's time to walk away. Not because they don't matter, but because you do. And when you walk, walk with your head up, with your peace intact, and with your heart focused on the man you're becoming. Because the best revenge is not seeing them suffer, it's building a life so peaceful, so powerful, and so free that they no longer exist in it. Drop a comment below. I walk away with power, not pain. Chapter 4. Build a life. So powerful, they can't disturb it. The ultimate revenge isn't loud, it's not clapping back. It's not proving them wrong on their level. It's building a life so solid, so full of purpose and peace, they can't even touch it. Toxic people feed off attention, but when you stop responding, when your focus becomes sharper than their drama, they lose their grip. Look at Joseph in the Bible, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, thrown in prison. He had every reason to hate, every reason to get even, but what did he do? He rose, he worked, he trusted God and stayed faithful. And in the end, he told the very men who tried to destroy him, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Genesis 50:20. That's not just peace, that's power. So focus on your mission. Surround yourself with peace. Protect your mind like it's sacred ground, because it is. Every step you take in silence, discipline, and vision is a step away from chaos and a step closer to greatness. Your peace is not weakness, it's your revenge. Let them talk, let them wonder, let them watch you become everything they said you never could without ever saying a word back. Drop a comment below. My peace is my power. Peace isn't just a mindset, it's a mission. And in a world full of noise, bitterness, and emotional traps, the man who protects his peace wins. Because true strength is not found in retaliation. It's found in restraint, in clarity, in the confidence to walk away from battles that don't build you. Every great man, from ancient kings to modern leaders, understood this. You don't rise by reacting, you rise by building. So build your peace, guard your focus, and never forget, the best revenge against toxic people is living like they never had power over you. If this message hit home, let it move you to action. Like this video, share it with a man who needs this truth. Subscribe for more strength, wisdom, and real talk, and drop a comment below. What's one toxic situation you're choosing to walk away from today? Your peace is priceless. Protect it like a king.